it going, folks? Nick here with the Permaculture vlog, joined by Rio over there. We are right now prepping to get some horse manure and bedding mix to take down to a consult we're doing. We are going to help the family I've been working with that is hoping to buy some land and start a little hobby farm, basically start a little compost pile for their chickens. Right now they're leasing some land and they want to kind of have some sort of compost going just to kind of get their game up, get a little learning done, etc. So we're basically going to help along with that today. We're going to load up the truck with manure. We're going to drive about 45 minutes to go basically meet them at their leased land, and then we'll be helping them build a compost pile and checking out their chicken system. I'm going to take you along for the ride today. Should be fun. We're going to start working now because otherwise Rio's going to get mad at me for making him do all the work here. And you can see he's already at it. Keeping our masks on. Well, I'm not right now because I'm talking to you. It's a little bit easier to talk without my mask on for you to understand. So, but I'm quite far away from him. So yeah, I'm going to start helping him now and we'll get going. Why not? We got a truck full there, and we're about to head down. We're basically up in Rio Grande right now. We're going down to near Humacao in Puerto Rico. So we're going to the East Coast. So we're all loaded up. I just want to mention there's often places, if there's a place that keeps horse rescue places, stables, places that offer rides or anything like that, there's often a resource just like this where they have excess bedding and excess manure. And in the States at least, not so much here in Puerto Rico, but in the States at least, they actually have to pay to get this removed and sent it to the landfill. So often they're actually really happy to have someone come and take it because then it's not going to the landfill. They don't have to pay and you get to get a resource. So it's a really great resource if you can find them. Before I moved to Puerto Rico, near Seattle, when I was working there, I actually found this place where there was a horse rescue place, and we went and basically picked up, we brought the truck, we loaded up and everything, but it got to the point where they bought a dump trailer and they would actually load up the dump trailer, bring it to me and dump it, and they would do that as often as I wanted, and I didn't have to pay for that, and they did all the heavy lifting. They actually brought it over, they basically used their Bobcat to load up their trailer, brought it over, dumped it at our place, and then I could use that for free. So that's huge amounts of compost material, and often horse bedding mixed with the manure is actually a really good perfect mix for a compost pile. This one specifically, there is some hay in it from their feed and everything, but they use wood chips as the main kind of carbon source in here, and that kind of combination plus the manure I actually found so far, as long as you get everything set up right, it's actually the perfect balance between carbon and nitrogen. So it's actually perfect. You get it moist, you maintain it, and it ends up being a perfect mix for compost. And all we have to do is come get it, water it, and then manage the system. So really cool. We're now going to get on the way. You can see Rio's already hot early in the morning with the shirt off, and we're going to be heading down and doing some more work. And let me just show you real quick the view of El Yunque from here. What a gorgeous day we got right now. Clear view of the mountain up there. Can't really ask for more. And here we go. Beginning of the workday. Let's hit it. All right.
Let's go.
All right, folks. We're here over at the property, my client's property, and we are just finishing up taking up all the compost material and putting it into a pile. Although we couldn't actually pile it today because we couldn't find the water source here on the property. They're leasing this property, and it's about 6 acres, and there's apparently a water meter and a water source, but we were unable to locate it. So we can't actually build the pile because we can't get the right amount of moisture content that we need to build the compost. So instead of actually building the pile, what we did is we just unloaded everything, all that manure and bedding mix that you saw earlier. We unloaded everything, and then we actually spread it out on the ground, and we're basically waiting for the waiting for rain to come to soak it. So we're going to let the natural process do it. Once the compost gets wet enough, they'll basically test it. I've told them how. Again, that's the squeezing test here. So you need to wait to get about a 50% moisture content in that kind of mix, bedding mix, horse manure mix, etc. So they're going to let it rain on it, and then they're going to, once it's all wet, they'll actually create the pile. So what we did here to start with is we basically took that pile, took all the material that was in the back of the truck, and we just spread it out. So that's probably 8 to 12 inches deep, not very deep at all. So that should be plenty to actually allow the rain to kind of soak in, get enough rain in there to actually give it enough moisture and get that right moisture content that they're looking for. And once they have that, they're able to pile it up right here. And then they're gonna have a tarp. This is actually our tarp here, but they'll have a tarp that they can throw over it to make sure it doesn't get too dry here. Cause I mean, this is gonna be pretty much full sun right here. So once this is all wet enough, they're going to pile it up. We might come and help with that, or they might just follow a couple of the YouTube videos that I have. I'll leave my how to build a compost pile video linked above if you are interested. But this little bit right here, this is going to end up becoming the compost pile. And this will be mainly used actually for their chickens, for their chicken system here. You can see we have a couple exploring right here, and they have a big old coop around the other side. So these little guys, these are Easter eggers, so they lay out the multicolored eggs. And once this is actually active, right now they're not so interested because it's not quite active enough, but once this compost pile becomes active, this will become a major food source for them, and they'll really love coming out here and checking it out, turning it, scratching it, etc. So these cute little guys, like 8 or 9 weeks old, I think is what they are, so they're still young, they're still learning, but they're super cute, super friendly because they've been handled since they were young, and they're going to be benefiting from this compost pile right here. Very exciting, cool to actually get this compost knowledge and information out there and to more people here on the island. I'm really excited to be doing that. So really excited to see this in action, and we'll probably be back here to check on it as it keeps going. But for today, we can't actually build a pile, and that's okay. We're getting everything ready for it so we can build a pile in the future, and then we'll actually come back, check on it, help along the way. So this property is actually quite big. It's an old cattle property that they have here, and this is one they're leasing, so this is not the property they're buying, but you can see a bunch of big old open fields. They're going to end up building a mobile coop for this area so they can actually bring in and move around the chickens. Here's an old cattle kind of management system, little paddock in here. This is, I think not been used for cattle for quite some time at this point, although apparently there's about 4 cows that still like to be around this place. So not too bad, not too shabby. But you can see plenty of room to move chickens around in if they wanted to be doing a permanent mobile system. There's so much room on this property, and the water source is supposed to be underneath all these palms here, but we couldn't quite find it. We spent probably about half an hour looking, and no luck at all. So it's a cool little property, nice place to get going while they're waiting to actually purchase the land. And that's kind of, once we do have that land, we'll actually be fully designing it and implementing that design and getting it going. So really excited about that. Excited to be helping this family kind of find their dreams and get that property that they want and get all the systems established. I'm really looking forward to it. But until we get to that point, they actually have land. We're going to be working on this lease land and showing it off a little bit. I'm going to show you their little chicken system in just a minute. I'm going to walk on over there right now, and just to show you what they did. It's a little bit different, and we'll just talk about it real quick. So let's check that out. So this is their little chicken setup here. It's a pretty big, kind of modular, so this can certainly be taken apart when we do actually end up moving to their full-time site. So pretty cool. It's just a little system they set up themselves. Really cool to see that, and a nice little design. It is fenced all the way down, including to the ground, so no one can really get in. So they're a nice, safe coop area. In here, this is kind of their will end up being their nesting area, but also their perching area. And this actually has a floor, which they keep bedding on. Underneath here is just another hidden area that they can go and access. And then within the actual coop, you can see they have their little staircase up. This is the place underneath, like I was saying. So you can see this is actually closed off underneath. So none of the manure is going to be dropping down like in my system at home. And that's okay. This is a nice little place for them to go and hide and have their own little space. We just added in here. We also did a console just to check on their chicken system, and you can see these guys. I think there's about 19 or 20 of them, and the ground was getting a little bare, a little bit. As always, if you've watched any of my videos, you hear me say over and over again, if you see bare soil, it's time to be adding mulch, right? So you can see they're a little bit skittish when I come in here. They're not used to me. They're used to the family. So we just had them throw in all this kind of old, slightly damp hay here, and the chickens are going to spread out. In fact, right before I came in here, they were on top of all this, starting to spread them out. So this system's good. This is a perfect little system for them. Plenty of room for these guys. Absolutely plenty of room, which is really cool to see. And yeah, I like these Easter eggers. They're very sweet and nice they're good family birds for sure. And you get the nice multicolored eggs in here, which is really nice. You can see they're using the chicken nipple system, just like I do at home there, to keep nice fresh water and plenty of it, because these guys don't live on site, so they're able to fill this 5-gallon bucket, and they have 5 gallons of water all the time for them. They also have the feed systems. They have a couple different feed systems throughout that they can be adding into. And it looks like another water system over there, so plenty of options for them when they're not here. They do check on this at least once a day, so I'm not really too worried about having any problems. But you see right there, you add nice fresh hay in here, and instantly these guys are all over it. They're picking through it. They're looking for the bugs and the grubs and everything else that's growing in there. And what's going to happen, and see how they start scratching it? Instead of us having to spread that out all over the place and make sure all the soil's covered, we just throw in the big bundles like that. They're going to scratch it all out and basically cover the soil for us. So we don't have to do much at all. What's really cool is I didn't help them design this at all. They basically looked up their design, they built it, and they got it going without any help from me, which is really cool. It's super cool. There's enough information out there that pretty much anyone can do this, and that's the goal here, right? Share all the knowledge so anyone can start these systems in their own home. So this is a really cool kind of permanent coop system, although it is modular, so it can be moved, which is ideal because they will end up moving to a permanent property once they get that. Couple improvements I would make to this system. I've already told them this. It's not something I would hide. This is just the reality, is having a way to get into this area, especially right around here. A bigger door, that'd be ideal. So you can come in with a big load of stuff, a bunch of either hay or compost material or anything. So a big door here, that'd be my number one. I'd have another big door on this side, so that when you're done with either the composting system within the chickens, or you're just wanting to unload something or load something up on this side, having a big door on this side would be ideal too, so you can open up and come out on this side. That'd be nice. And then the other thing I would do in this system, just like in mine, is add this kind of hardware cloth a little bit wider. Zoom out, this hardware cloth underneath here, so all the manure, instead of having to have a whole platform here, I would just allow that all to, allow that all to fall down into their bedding below here. So it can fall right down, have a bunch of mulch down there, and yeah. Having a little bit of access back here too, a nice little swivel door open so you can add more material underneath where they're roosting, so they can add their manure to that. That'd be ideal. And yeah, really cool system, nice little system they set up with just kind of their own design mind, and it's really cool to see that. Really enjoy it. So yeah, that's it for today. I think we're here and we're just kind of finishing up. Gonna do a couple more little things and we're on our way. So we're gotta gather the chickens that we let out to test out the compost, make sure they're all home again before we leave, and then we're going to be getting out of here. So great to see you guys today. Hope you enjoyed that. A little bit different, a little on the road trip. It's kind of fun to be able to present those to you. And if you do like what I'm doing, please subscribe to the channel or share videos that are relevant to your communities or something that you like. I really appreciate that. It helps me get more follows and more traction online. So really appreciate that. Till next time, have a good one.